Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, where you guys are listening to this, and whenever you guys are watching this, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Spotify, whether it be on Apple Podcast, it is time for another episode, for another division preview of the
Oh, wow.
Bang bang Niner gang. Bang bang Niner gang.
Oh, wow.
Bang bang Niner gang. 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 Bang bang Niner gang.
Next Up Fantasy Show.
Wait, did you
It's your boy
change?
Will.
He is
I
lucky
love it.
that he doesn't have us having controls, because once he started to change, I would have put the screen back.
You're on my show. When you can do that on your show, you can do whatever you want. But once again, it's your boy Will, back again with my two amigos. As far as getting this little party started, let's first up introduce Mike. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. I survived the hurricane, y'all. It was good. Well, the hurricane wasn't good, but I'm good, if that makes any sense. But yeah, we're here talking about the NFC West. This man just, you guys don't even know what this man just did. But he has a 49er jersey on now. He had a hat. He threw it. I'm supposed to be impressed. I don't know. We'll see you guys when we see you guys in San Francisco. But until then, we're going to do this NFC West thing, guys.
I'm just saying, that little intro that I just did, that was only 30 seconds. When I did the thing for Dallas, that was double that. So you guys are practically welcome. But at least I put it. I thought where I put it in the show, I thought that was kind of dope. So that was great. So anyway,
No doubt.
Manny being Manny, what's going on? How you doing?
What's up? That was actually great, Will. I did not expect that. Shout out to the people commenting to our videos, by the way. I don't know Jack, according to some people, so I'm excited to frustrate a lot of other a lot of other fans. Oh, I hope the Falcons suck.
Yeah, man. I picked the Falcons too, but obviously I don't know anything either, so whatever.
Yo, that was funny. I want him back on. I want him back just to
I want that dude on the show. Like, I love it. I love it.
Me too.
It's great. Yeah,
There was absolutely nothing wrong with the comment. There's nothing wrong with the comment because everyone's cool with their opinion. I welcome all opinions, but like,
I hope the Falcons come in third. Like, what did I have him third? I think that's what triggered
you?
him. I think I had him.
I know, because I picked him to win, but he's
I
didn't know anything.
but you apparently don't know anything, Mike.
I don't know it. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe they will be third. So he can let me know in the comments next week or this week, whatever.
Yeah, you had him first, so I don't know why you don't know anything. They're going to be Falcons are going to be top 10. Was it top 15 defense and offense this year? I'm going to remember this comment. I'm going to remember it. And if you're not, guess what? End of the season. Guess who's coming talking?
You're gonna be bombarding them, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'll come back to the comments and be like, I'll just put a smiley face.
I was gonna say that. I don't know if that was a Dallas Cowboy fan thing, and you guys can let us know in the comments. Go ahead and berate the Cowboys. I could care less. But I'm the same kind of person. I'm gonna keep all these receipts, but I love it. So in the comments, hit us up, let us know. But when the season's over, we're gonna revisit this. Top 10 offense, top 10 defense. I don't know.
He said 15.
Though.
We even checked Will. Will still owes us a dang dance because Will said Chiefs were in last place. So if we're gonna check Will's receipts, we're definitely checking the YouTube comments receipts.
Most definitely.
I've already discussed this so many times, but we're gonna go ahead and keep moving, and we are gonna start. We usually start from the bottom and then work our way up, and last year's bottom for the NFC West is going to likely continue to be the bottom of the NFC West, and that team is the Arizona Cardinals. Last year's record was 4-13. We got a really hurt Kyler Murray, and it's literally the reason why nobody's really talking about him right now. Nothing's really Like nothing's changed. It doesn't really seem like anything has been done to that team, and pretty much everyone there at Arizona is saying, you know what, we're not going to change anything, but this is going to be the team that's going to get us to the Super Bowl. I would like to see that try. The key departures, of course, DeAndre Hopkins. He didn't want to be there anymore. He doesn't want to be really anywhere. So all places he goes to Tennessee. So
Idiot.
We'll see how that legitimately goes. Arizona, man, there's not really much to fully look at. Like, can anyone here name me legitimately name 3 wide receivers from Arizona? Can you?
Yeah, but I don't want to because I don't know anything.
That's fair. Okay, so you don't know anything. I mean,
it's Rondale Moore, Zach Pascal, and Hollywood Brown.
Zach Pascal. Wow, from Indy?
Philly, actually.
No, he went to. Didn't he? He was playing in Indy.
He did play in Indy. I think he went to Philly though for a little bit.
That's fair. I actually did like Rondale Moore back then.
And if you want to count Zach Ertz, I guess.
Zach Ertz is still playing?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Okay. and we're supposed to be a fantasy show. Okay. So James Conner, still the main guy, still the running back. A lot of people are talking about him being a steal in drafts just because mainly he's going to be the main guy there. The 2 people behind him, man. The only issue that I really have in general with this team, with Connor, with anybody, how are they going to score? Do they have enough firepower to actually get it down the field to score and things of that nature? Kyler Murray, I don't know the extent of everything that's going on with him, but it looks like that it's going to be extended as far as how long he'll be out. But I'm going to start out with a man that doesn't know anything. Just because, just for giggles. Give me some kind of heartbeat, some kind of hope for these Cardinals. Let's go.
Colt McCoy was good at Texas.
Yes, he was.
That's right.
He's the starting quarterback. If you don't know, now you know. I remember him beating the Cowboys up a couple of years ago. So he's decent. He's been in a backup quarterback for a while now. But yes, James Conner out of the whole team. I actually like Marquise Brown as well. He's going around the same spot as like George Pickens. George Pickens is my number 1 choice, but if George Pickens wasn't there and I'm looking for a wide receiver, I might go for Hollywood Brown. But because Colt McCoy needs to throw to someone, and I think Hollywood Brown's that guy.
That's all you got?
Yeah, I'm just like I said, James Conner is a sneaky pick, but where he's going in the draft, I'm not really targeting him as much. But Hollywood Brown, if George Pickens isn't there, he's my 1B, or what I should say my B option in that area. I think, let me see, I have the ADP. Let me pull it up. He's wide receiver 35. George Pickens is wide receiver 34, and they're going 83. Pickens is 83 overall. Hollywood Brown is 84 overall. So
I will agree that Hollywood Brown is a good pick in that range. Like if he's going to continue to be the number 1 guy there, it's kind of similar to James Conner being the main guy there. He's going to get volume. He's going to get some love and things like that. But it's just a matter of how much are they going to actually score. That's everything about Arizona is my concern there.
You know what's crazy?
What's that?
Back in this is the 7th, 8th round. There's so much good quality in wide receivers. You got Mike Evans, George Pickens, Hollywood Brown, Deontay Johnson, Jackson Smith. I like Jordan Addison. We kind of talked about him in the Vikings. And Jahan Dotson, which Scary Terry just got hurt today on the preseason game. So Jahan Dotson might be that guy. And he's 91 overall. That's like the 8th round.
Well, I mean, yeah, you don't know anything though. But yeah, for McLaurin, it's just a toe for right now. It doesn't seem like too serious, so I hope that he does get better in general. He is a good steal though if you could get him. I think in the league that I'm in, the one I told you guys about. I think he ended up getting picked up in like the 6th round. So
the 7th and 8th round, I'm targeting the wide receivers.
Right, and there's plenty of good receivers there on those rounds. Mike, your thoughts on Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona might be the first team that we've been doing in this whole little breakdown of divisions where I just don't like anybody on the team. Like I don't know. Like there's nothing there for me to really like. I know you guys like Hollywood. I really don't. I live by Hollywood. It's not him. He's not that guy. As far as I'm concerned, there's just nobody to like. I mean, Kyler, he's talented. He might do something, but I don't want Kyler Murray. I don't want Kyler Murray in the draft. I don't want any of these dudes. Like they're just the first team. Prater? No, I don't want Matt. Well, Matt Prater's kind of nice. I might take Matt Prater. Maybe I would take Matt Prater. Kicker. It's okay. That spot needs to be filled, so we'll respect on Matt Prater's name. My fault. But yeah, for the most part, man, I don't really want any Arizona Cardinals. I think they're on the clock. Them in Houston, they'll be battling for probably that number 1 pick. I think Kyler Murray will be somewhere else next year, where he'll probably have weapons, and maybe at that point he'll be a feasible option. But I don't like anything about this team, and that is what it is. It had to be somebody, right? There's 32 teams. This is the squad that I really have nothing positive to say. It is what it is.
And that's kind of a shame because, like, we at least talked about the Texans. We at least talked about so many other teams that are kind of on the bottom of that barrel. But Arizona, the fact that you can't say anything positive. Like, give me one positive thing about just Arizona, period. Forget the Cardinals. Just give me something positive about the state. Can you do that for me? Just one thing.
Nice weather.
Mike?
Very nice golf courses. I played TPC at Scottsdale. It was a delight.
Well, there you go.
And they're in the shitty NFC West. Oh, sorry.
At least you have good golf courses and good weather. So many retirees. That's really all we got. JJ or not JJ Watt. Who was the guy that just yeah, it is JJ Watt. JJ Watt just retired. So there's another retiree from Arizona. So there you go. We try our best to dig into all these facts for everybody here.
That's all I got.
They got Buda Baker.
They do have Buda Baker. They do have Buda Baker.
He's a good player. If you're playing in a league with an IDP, go get Buda Baker. He'll be making a lot of tackles, but they're gonna be losing a lot of games. So go get Buda Baker.
That they are, and how unfortunate is that? Next up, we tried our best, Arizona. Next up,
we're gonna get hate.
Let me see someone from Arizona that says that you don't know nothing about them, and they're going to be the top 15 in offense and defense. Let me see that. So next up, we have a team that all three of us actually picked last year to be the NFC West champions, and boy, did we fail miserably. And that's okay. And that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the LA Rams. A 5-12, an ecstatic 5-12 record. Not many key arrivals, fantasy relevant, but I did put in Stetson Bennett only because of the fact that there is a possibility in the event that Matthew Stafford, it's probably not going to happen, but in the event that Matthew Stafford fails or if he gets hurt or anything like that, Stetson Bennett has shown some positivity in his in everything that he's done in the preseason so far. Not great, but there's potential there. So there is that possibility that if they do go, let's say 5-12 again, or down that path, we could see a little bit of him in action during the later part of the year, to the point where we could see at least what he has going for him. Key departures, not really many. Once again, Sony Michel, but that was because of a technicality. The man retired. And that's good and good for him for generally retiring if he feels that his body can't take it no more. Godspeed. Again, it's back to we can talk about people here. Unlike Arizona, that's going to be our theme for today. We have a Matthew Stafford who we've seen in Detroit be a gunner. We know that he can pass the ball. We know that he's the guy that can probably get you to 400 yards if he tried. He can get there. The problem is who he's going to be throwing all those 400-yard passes to, or yards to, excuse me. We only got Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp likely going to be a top 10 or top, in some people's mind, top 5 overall pick. In other people's mind, including mine, top 10 pick for sure. As far as any kind of wide receivers, there's not really much that I can think of on top of my head. There is, though, Gerald Everett, who actually I don't think is actually on the team anymore. I think he's still with he's with the Chargers. Excuse me.
Tyler Higbee
but there's Tyler Higbee
is a starter.
Is a starter? Actually, you know what? You're right. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, Tyler Higbee is actually a decent tight end, but it's not to the point where I would reach out and try to draft him. And finally, we have the main person as far as the offensive side is Cam Akers. Cam Akers, pretty questionable. We know the kid can play. He had the injury last year. He tried to play on it last year before the season went over, and he didn't look the greatest. I'm kind of concerned about that team as far as the rushing. But there's not really anything else that jumps out to me with this team, with the exception of Kupp, Stafford, Higbee, which apparently plays for them and not Gerald Everett. So, Mike, give me some options or give me some idea or some thoughts that's going to be better than Arizona.
All right, man. LA Rams, man. Welcome to sunny Southern California. You know, I'm out here. Like Manny was saying, we're talking about the Lions. You know, he's always around the Lion fans and their continual optimism that Detroit's going to make it happen this year. I'm around these Rams fans, and while they have been a little bit more than successful, or a little more successful than the Lions, they've actually won Super Bowls. The Lions haven't really done that yet. But still, I mean, this has been known to be a poverty franchise, and they're once again kind of in poverty. Now the Rams will have a couple seasons where they come out and they do things, and you know they're a real shiny kind of medallion. You know they're real shiny when they come out and do their thing. The greatest show on turf, or you have McVay doing his thing. But this is not those kind of Rams. So these Rams, Stafford, he's cool. He's serviceable. You can get Stafford later on in rounds. I mean, if he's healthy, he's going to produce for you. Not going to bring you much value running the ball, but he'll produce for you as far as throwing the ball. He generally throws for over 4,000 yards and upwards of 20 touchdowns a season. That's like the floor for Stafford if he's healthy. So you'll be fine. Kupp's going to get volume. He's Stafford's favorite weapon. He feeds the guy, force feeds the guy. Kupp's one of the better receivers, better route runners in the NFL. If you can get Cooper a Kupp and he can stay healthy, you have a beast. Cooper Kupp's a good pick. Cam Akers can play, like Will said. We all know what Cam Akers is capable of. If Cam Akers stays healthy, you have a beast. So what is the prevailing or the motif, the recurring theme in all three of these players? If they can stay healthy. If you feel, and I don't draft based on health. So if you're like me, then go ahead and grab these guys. But it's going to come down on how you feel about them staying healthy. If they can stay healthy, then they will be valuable assets to your team. More so, Kupp and Akers and Stafford. I feel like you could probably get another quarterback to do what Stafford can do, someone with more running ability. But if all those running quarterbacks are gone, Stafford's not a bad pocket quarterback to get because he can go off. But the theme with all those guys are, can they stay healthy? So it's a little dicey when you're picking those dudes. I would probably go with an option who has a better track record of health if I was in that mix. But if one of these guys fall in your lap and they're obviously the best player to take, you should take them if they're the best player to take and just hope that they stay healthy.
Really curious question, because we didn't ask one for Arizona because it's Arizona. So here's a quick question that I have for this case. They're being drafted in a similar area, and they both have top, let's say, 15 wide receivers on their teams. Would you draft Matthew Stafford or Aaron Rodgers?
See, I would go Rodgers only because I feel like he has more weapons. I feel like he does because I don't really know what the Rams have outside of Cup. I mean, is Van Jefferson back? Is that the
Van
number
Jefferson's
2?
there. Yes.
He's the number 2. So I don't know. I mean, I think I trust Alan Lazard more than I trust Van Jefferson. So I would probably go Rodgers, but that's me.
I even trust Corey Davis over Van Jefferson, which is kind of a shame. Corey Davis is good. He's good. He's just not. I don't know. Manny, would you
give me, surprisingly, I'm actually thinking that someone on this team might have a breakout year if, like Mike said, they stay healthy. And I actually am targeting him in drafts because people are scared to draft him, but I'm not. His name is Cam Akers because Darrell Henderson is gone. Shoney Michel, gone.
Mm-hmm.
This guy had injury problems that basically a lot of running backs had and didn't come back. Arian Foster was not the same. This guy's young and had it early and actually is coming back strong. He didn't play last year. He had like this, almost got kicked off the team, like this inside, like, I need more playing time, this and that. When he got back, the dude averages 4 yards a carry when he's playing. 4 yards a carry. Let me repeat that. 4 yards a carry, which is a lot for a running back, I think. As for a second RB2, he's going as an RB2. You know what I was scared of with Cam Akers last year? Darrell Henderson, because he was the goal line. Who's the goal line now? He is the only 3-down back that I see that I like as an RB2. It's between him and James. Like, I'm gonna tell you who goes around him, and this is why I like him a lot. J.K. Dobbins, we talked about injury prone for me. I mean, it's the same as Cam Akers, right? Cam Akers had one injury. J.K. Dobbins is out like every year. Alexander Madison, yes, he's been good, but have we seen it on a consistency level with him? Yes, he's good when Cook's out. Cam Akers, when he's in, averaging 4 yards a carry. Then you got James Conner, which he is good, another injury-prone running back, but he's on the Cardinals. We just talked about the Cardinals. Next, coming down a little bit, you got Javonte Williams. I like Javonte Williams, but he's coming back off a serious injury. And then you have DeAndre Swift, which I do not like, another injury-prone, and he's with the Eagles, so I would not be drafting DeAndre Swift. And there you go. I mean, I like Cam Akers where he's going right now.
You know what? That's fair. It's 100% fair. But again, my personal inquiry is just the fact of how are they going to score? Like, yeah, they can get Cooper, Stafford, that connection. They can get it down the field or whatnot. But with Kupp getting largely probably like a 40% target share, likely because it's been done. Like when defenses actually learn about that, like who else can they go to? That's my thought. Like they could dig and dunk to Higbee. They could give Van Jefferson a try. Actually, Van Jefferson is actually good. Jefferson actually is pretty good. It's just the fact that like
Stafford had the Lions for his whole career with no wide receiver. He had Megatron. But the Lions are shit. He's used to being on shit teams. He'll get the job done. Lions score points. They just don't win. You also got Aaron Donald on still as a Ram that can produce some troubles for offenses.
Aaron Donald and who else?
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Okay. And that's the theme. Like whether it's the offense or the defense, they're relying on very young talent right now. And that's really difficult to do. So to the point where they have to grow up fast for them to be any kind of to have any kind of relevancy for this year for the team. And Zach Evans is one of the backups. He's a rookie out of Ole Miss. I've heard some things here and there about him. So I may keep my eye out on him for a little bit, but I again, he will probably be more so a person that you keep your eye out on if they don't make the playoffs and they play backups.
Quick thing about Zach Evans. I actually like Zach Evans. I totally forgot about him. He was actually, fun fact, a higher recruit coming into college than Bijan Robinson. So take with that as you will. Take with that as you will. But things didn't pan out for him the same in college. I believe he went to TCU and then had to end up transferring to Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. But he was talented as heck coming out of high school. So maybe he can rekindle that flame. Who knows?
I believe that, and that's actually why I brought him up. I didn't put him on there, but whatever. So
you know who else was good at college? Cam Akers at Florida State.
He was really good.
Just saying.
All the Cam Akers takes. I actually like that. I like the diversity that we have here. I'm not taking them, but I appreciate your thoughts.
So we're in the league together. You better not take them when you're right ahead of me and I want them.
We'll see about that. So next up, for me personally, I believe I touted throughout the entire division talks that we've been doing that there was 3 teams that I've been personally targeting for value. So the first team was the Chargers. The second team was the Browns. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be my third team, the Seattle Seahawks. With where a lot of these players are being taken with everything that they've done last year, it's incredible. And I'm still shocked that they were as good as they were prior to starting. When I had the expectation, when we all had the expectation of Seattle not doing so well, they became 9-8. The key addition when it comes to fantasy, Zach Charbonnet, which is going to be someone that we will be talking about. Manny, why thumbs down? Let everybody know. We know, but why? Go ahead and let everybody know why the thumbs down for Mr. Charbonnet.
Because the daddy, Michigan State alum, is the starter, and he's saying, "Sit down, Michigan scum. Be my second string."
You called a guy daddy. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So as far as the departures, there hasn't really been anybody that left of any significance. But this team, I have to emphasize, like, not in the similar way of the Cincinnati Bengals where they're going or what the end game is going to be for them. But the fact that they played with each other as a unit for a full year, nothing much has changed on the offense. Geno Smith is the man that's going to be the quarterback. Hell of a season last year. Maybe because it was surprising. Kenneth Walker. Manny's own. Kenneth Walker. I know we're going to be talking about Charbonnet in a minute, but I'm not scared of him to the point where he would take Walker's volume. Charbonnet may end up doing pass catching or a breather or be the breather back, but simply I have nothing against Kenny Walker as far as those two being in the same backfield. Could be a good one too. And what could be in the top 5 for the best trio of wide receivers with Metcalf, with Tyler Lockett, and the guy that I can't pronounce.
Jackson.
Keep going.
Smith.
Uh-huh.
Jackson Smith. Ohio State.
Mike, what's his name?
Jackson Smith Najigba.
Thank you.
Najigba. Yeah, I got you. I'm here Trevor for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I need help, man.
We're all gonna need help. What?
Don't they call him JSN?
JSN.
Yeah.
So we'll just go with JSN. So anyway, one of the top trios in the league, likely, and I really do have a feeling that all 3 of them will be enough to get theirs. All of them are going into really great value, which is the reason why I'm as stoked as I am with this team. Like Geno Smith is barely getting drafted. DK Metcalf, 4th round probably. Tyler Lockett, I picked him up in my slow draft here. He was in like the 8th round. JSN probably like 10th round and beyond. You have options. The value in each and every one of them is great. I have no reason to hate on them. They'll be perfect where they are right now. Manny, thoughts on Seattle?
Kenneth Walker. I'm going to be trying to get some Kenneth Walker. Yes, I am biased. I don't care what people say. I love Kenneth Walker. Also, though, let me put some kind of theory in, Will. But actually, bring Mike's face up because this is his team, and I want him to see if I'm saying this right. If you like
right,
Chris,
all eyes on you. Here we go.
If you like Chris Olave, if you like Garrett Wilson, then you're gonna love Jackson Smith. Better than those two when he was with Ohio State. So if you're drafting Chris Olave in the 2nd, you're drafting Garrett Wilson in the 2nd, you get the bet. In my opinion, he was better at Ohio State in the 10th round, or he's going like 8th, 9th round, 7th, 8th, 9th. Get yourself some Jackson Smith.
I will get him as long as you can pronounce his last name right.
Nope.
Okay.
I just know he's really good. Him and Marvin Harrison Jr., which he's still there, are better than Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, in my opinion.
That's a nice take. I like that. Anything else outside of Kenneth Walker?
Nope.
JSN.
Just Kenneth Walker and Jackson. I'm not big on like Tyler Lockett. Yes, he's Mr. Consistent. But when I look at fantasy, I'm trying to get upside, and I'm like a risk taker. So, yes, Tyler Lockett will get you his ADP. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for the guy that's going to go, that's drafted around him, that will be next year will be round 2, round 1. That's what I look for. That's kind of why I want Jackson, because he's a 8th, 9th, 7th, 8th, 9th, which I think he's going to be 3rd, 4th next year.
100% fair. Mike, thoughts?
I like Seattle. I like Seattle for many reasons. I'm a fan of Geno. I think Geno can play. I remember when Geno was at West Virginia, I really, really liked Geno. He couldn't figure it out when he's with New York, but I think with Seattle, he'll be perfectly fine. I like them. I like the running backs. Unlike Manny, I hate Michigan with every core of my being, but I'm not gonna hate on Zach Charbonnet. I mean, he made a good decision. He left that stuff and came out to California, kicked it in Brentwood with the UCLA kids. So I'm going to consider him a Bruin. But whatever the fact, I like Zach Charbonnet and I like Kenneth Walker. I think that's a deadly 1-2 punch. I think they'll be fine from that. I mean, you even have DJ Dallas. Throw him in there. Get him some work. Okay, so I like all 3 of those guys. The receivers, I think, and this is going to be a little – this hurts as a Cowboy fan. But I'm going to go ahead and give them potentially the 2nd best wide receiving unit in the league. It should be us, but I'm going to actually take Jackson Smith and Jigba, who would be their 3rd, over Michael Gallup, who would be our 3rd. So I'll give that to them for right now, but Gallup come, make me wrong. I hope you make me wrong. Into the season, I would love to take that back. But I think they have weapons all over the place. I think that they have a good offensive system. I think that the guys provide good value, like my 2 co-hosts have said. So I think Seattle is a team to be reckoned with. I think that you will do okay taking any of those players. At the point, you should take them in the draft. I wouldn't reach for anybody, except for maybe Kenneth Walker, if that's how you feel. Maybe Jack Smith and the Jigba, if that's how you feel. The rest of the guys I wouldn't really reach for. Maybe DK Metcalf. He has the potential to kind of be a top 3 receiver if he could ever just do it. But besides that, I like the guys. Good team, solid squad. Go ahead and get some Seattle Seahawks on your roster.
Wait. I want to hear his take about if I was way off with the Ohio State. You're the expert Ohio State.
Got you. Out of all those guys, I think Harrison's going to be the best. I think he's the best, but I would slide in Jackson Smith and Jigba right there at number 2. And the sad part about that is if he wouldn't have got injured last year, I might have him over Harrison. I really would. I mean, he had 4 touchdowns in that one game, that one bowl game. He's a beast. So
people forget he was injured.
Yeah, people forget that totally. And that affected us. We would have had him full strength. I think he played against Georgia, but he wasn't full strength. We'd had him full strength. I think we could have won that game, but that's for another story for another day. But he's a great player, really good player. And yes, I would take him over Olave and Wilson. He's better than both those guys.
I guess not in fantasy this year because where he's at. Like if you plopped him as a wide receiver 1 somewhere, he'd probably be round 3 type wide receiver now. The dude's legit. He might take away DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett's like a lot of targets if they actually do plays for him. I don't understand why they needed him, but the dude's legit. I'm surprised he's made it to the Seahawks, and I'm surprised. Yeah, the target share. That's probably why he's in the 7th, 8th, 9th. But he's already. I think he's going to be a top receiver by the end of his career.
100% fair, and I welcome it. I want to actually see that actually.
That's why I'm scared to take DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. To be honest with you,
I mean, with the value that they're going at, I don't mind jumping into that opportunity. DK Metcalf is to me he's like the big play guy. Tyler Lockett is the slot guy, but JSN he's going to be the same. He's going to be similar. I feel he's going to be similar to Metcalf. If you want me to be honest, like Geno Smith has that availability, so I'm really curious to see how it all adds up in the end. Would you guys draft Geno Smith? I think Mike would. Manny, would you?
Would.
Yeah, if I don't get like the top, I usually wait till the end. So, and I'm big. Like, there's a quarterback that you guys probably know. You guys know because I'm high on him, but I'm actually high on Anthony Richardson. So I just think
know him. Okay.
I don't think he's gonna have like a crazy year, but his rushing and his ability to throw the ball, like him and Michael Pittman, like I'm getting more and more like love that I want.
I welcome it. So
my team.
I'm a Geno Smith guy this year.
My teams in fantasy are boom or bust. Like Geno is not going to give me a boom, but Anthony Richardson at the same area, I could get like a boom player. So like that's what when you guys listen to me on this podcast, I'm more of like the risk taker. I look for potential high ceilings. So, and that's how you win. You're not going to win by just being average. Like, you got to find those players. And if you hit, you hit. Justin Fields last year, the people that got him hit.
Facts.
I'm trying to find the next Justin Fields.
We'll see. Well, you're looking for the next Justin Fields. Okay, I see. And now, the main event.
Oh, shoot. We still got this.
What everyone's been looking for, been waiting for. Actually, Manny, look to your left real quick. Okay, I won't do the whole thing. Anyway, so
Jesus.
Right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen, your last year's champs, them 49ers.
In the division.
Yeah. I want to talk so much mess, but I'm not going to. Okay. So as far as departures, there have been some, but we're going to start with the people that actually came in. Not really too much. Just Sam Darnold. Which was weird to me because of the fact that each and every one of the quarterbacks are okay. I'm not going to say they're gods. They're fine. They're 100% fine. Key departures. Don't know what to say. Anyway, key departures. Got Jimmy G, went to the Raiders. And the one that I was really sad about was Robbie Gould. Robbie Gould, he was that kicker that you needed in your life. Whether he was a Bear, whether he was here with us as a Niner for a couple of years. That was the blessing that you needed in your life. Not no kickers from Atlanta. That Manny apparently knows nothing about.
Young Ho. Yeah, why did that guy give me credit for Young Ho? Dude's a monster.
Because you don't know anything.
That guy was a hater.
Oh, you got poop as a kicker now.
We used our 4th round pick on a kicker.
Michigan scum.
And I have so many questions, but I'm gonna go ahead and move on.
Jake Moody.
Now,
He slept with Jim Harbaugh during recruiting.
It worked. Anyway, moving on. So,
He knows.
Yeah, they do those kind of things.
so as far as the team overall, it's kind of like I talked to Mike and Manny about this a lot. Like, even with them being my team, I still get confused of how they are able to do everything that they do. Like, we made Mr. Irrelevant relevant, and now he's likely the starter. We made Trey Lance a number 3 pick. This guy right here. Now likely the third seed quarterback. And he did decent yesterday. Sam Darnold somehow, some way is making a comeback. And he's doing it with this team. Everything that they do with the quarterback doesn't matter. They don't need the greatest of quarterbacks. We don't need anyone that to go 300 yards, 400 yards on a consistent basis, as long as they are acceptable time managers. That's what Jimmy G is. That's what he was with the Niners. That's what he was with the Patriots. Good luck to the Raiders. And of course, everyone knows this team more about the running. We picked up CMC in the middle of the year last year via a trade which shocked the daylights out of me. And practically sky's the limit, which we've seen as far as what he did last year. Still have Eli Mitchell, which can be a pretty acceptable handcuff. Thankfully, no Troy Sermon. TDP is still a decent running back. He's playing in the background right now. And you got your pass catchers. You got your Brandon Ayuk's. You got your Jennings. You got your Debos. And the only one I actually legitimately have questions about is George Kittle. I feel that the team can just do everything with just the wide receivers alone. George Kittle, his targets kind of declined for the past couple of seasons, but doesn't mean that he has his spurts of good games here and there. But I still question George Kittle's consistency. I would like to see some kind of consistency out of him, but overall, I can't. He's actually one of the people I'm not drafting this year at all, regardless of where he's being drafted at. I can't trust him. I would draft Brandon Ayuk. Debo is going to depend on where he's drafted at. Juwan Jennings, actually, I welcome it. But let me get which Cowboy fan should I talk to first about this?
Mike.
Yeah, because many much. So, Mike, give me some opinions about this team.
All right, I can be that guy, man. Yay area, respect that. E40, all right. Let's go. If I had dreads, I would shake them, but I don't, so it's all good.
It's okay.
But Niners, 49ers. You guys see the team in the background. That's who I root for. But respectfully so, I mean, they've ended our season the last 2 years. That's been pretty whack. But respectfully saying, Niners, from a fantasy perspective, I like Brandon Ayuk. I think Brandon Ayuk is probably, well, besides CMC, who these guys know I'm not really a huge CMC fan. I'm just not. But he's a great player. But beyond CMC, Brandon Ayuk is probably the second most player that I would target on this team. With Debo, it's just kind of hard to see. Since CMC has been installed in the lineup, Debo doesn't really run the ball as much. They don't really need him to. So that kind of takes away a little value away from Debo Sanders, who I think is more valuable in that role where he's kind of running the ball and playing receiver. So I would target Ayuk. Kittle's still a top tight end. I'm guessing Will knows something about Kittle that I don't know, because Will's not sounding like he's really feeling Kittle. Maybe he's heard of something. I'm not sure. But Kittle, he's still a good option. A top tight end in the league. But the 49ers, I feel like, and I know Will's probably not going to want to hear it, but I feel like the 49ers are a team that's better at real football than fantasy football. They're not necessarily a team that has a whole bunch of targets because they kind of time manage and play great defense.
Right.
So, yeah, so I would go for Ayuk. I would go for CMC. Beyond that, not saying don't get Debo. I'm not saying don't get Purdy, if that's who you want to get. Well, actually, I am saying don't get Purdy. Don't get Purdy.
Don't get Purdy.
But don't get Purdy. But I'm not saying don't get. I'm not saying don't get Debo. I just don't know. I wouldn't spend a top 50 pick on Debo. I wouldn't. So if you can get Debo later on, I might not even spend a top 75 personally. I just don't think he's going to give you the value that other guys will give you in a PPR league. Because I just don't think they're going to be there. I don't think their offense is designed to do that. So
75, that's deep.
How I feel. I know. That's my hot take. You had a hot take last year, right? That's my hot take. Debo will be I don't know if he'll be a top 75 receiver. He might be 76, but I'm gonna go out on a limb. I could be totally wrong. We'll come back to this, but that's my hot take. I don't think he's top 75, but I do think that Ayuk is top 15.
Woo!
So take with that as
top 15. Wow.
Top 15. Ayuk. This isn't based on any kind of statistics or so maybe I don't know anything, Manny. We'll see if homeboy's right. But I'm going boom or bust. Kind of how Manny says he goes boom or bust. I'm going boom or bust. And I think this is the year that Brandon Ayuk shows out because he's talented. Talent's there. I think he cracks the top 20. I'm gonna say top 15, but I think he cracks the top 20.
20, I could see as a possibility, but 15, that's huge. Manny, give me your. Come on now. Manny, give me your thoughts.
Before I go big, Will, how would this team look? I'm going to name some players. Would you want Jalen Waddle on the 49ers?
I already know where you're going with this.
Would you want Bradley Chubb on the 49ers?
I technically wouldn't want anyone with the last name of Chubb, but go ahead.
Would you want Tyreek Hill on the 49ers?
Because these are the players that you traded for Trey Lance. I know where you're going.
Exactly. Those are the players. Mike, did you know this? This is the players that when I love looking at like trades and then like the outcomes of like the draft. That's what it was. That's Miami got the 49ers draft or traded with the Miami Dolphins, which turned out to be Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, and Jalen Waddle. I can only imagine how many. You probably would have had back-to-back Super Bowls in that case with those type of players.
You do realize there's a 6th degree.
You also had Debo.
Wait. You realize there's a 6th degree to getting those 3 players, right? Because it's not literally trade for trade. I need you to understand that. Did you know that?
I guess Miami's a better they have better GMs.
They do. Who said they don't?
They're
damn good.
I just wanted to see your reaction on Trey Lance because he's probably not even going to start now. Brock Purdy is going to start. So you but yeah, the 49ers are a really good football team. Fantasy, I'm really not going for anybody. Yes, Brandon Ayuk's good, but I could get people that I want during he's going. Let's take a look. He's 69 overall, wide receiver 28. Wide receiver 27th is your boy Tyler Lockett, Will.
Mm-hmm.
And then wide receiver 29 is Mike Williams from the Chargers, which you said you're targeting the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
So out of those two, are you picking Brandon Ayuk or Mike Williams or Tyler Lockett?
Brandon Ayuk.
All right. That's good to know. So, but yeah, I don't know. In this area, the 6th, 5th round, I'm looking at running backs. So I don't see Brandon Ayuk being on my team. I don't see Debo. Debo's too high. He screwed me last year because of the play calling. If they gave him the ball like a couple years ago where he's running the ball, he's getting the ball at yards after catch, dude's a monster. He was getting hit too many times and they kind of limited. They want to limit that for him. So and that's with Christian McCaffrey. But yes, I take back what I said because if I'm the number 1 overall pick in the first round, I'm getting Christian McCaffrey. So there you go. Christian McCaffrey or bust for me. But 49ers are a good team. Like they'll probably win the division. But I just think Seahawks have better fantasy value than the 49ers.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree. It's tough to pick certain 49ers where they're going right now.
Yeah.
With the exception of CMC, I mean, like, it's insane that CMC can go as low as 6.
You also have too many Michigan players on your team, and I don't like that.
That explains everything.
You got Taco Charlton though. He's got Taco.
Do they have Taco?
He's got Taco.
I'm glad Taco's still out there getting paid. Get your money, Taco. But yeah,
Get your money, Taco.
I hate
Get your money.
Taco.
I can tell that you.
We could have had TJ Watt.
Yeah, that was.
But didn't.
Yeah, that was a blunder. We draft really, really well, but we messed up that year. For sure. Yeah, for sure. It happens.
I would have drafted TJ Watt just because his brother. This is the name. I would have been like, "Yep, we're getting him."
Yeah.
So you would draft a person based on name value. Wasn't that something that you don't do?
This is why I'm not a GM. It would have worked out with TJ Watt.
True.
Fair. But only TJ. Isn't there a third? There's a third brother, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, don't want to talk about him.
but he wasn't as
All right.
hype as TJ.
All right, so just like, just like Manny and pretty much all of us are saying, it's acceptable to recognize that the Niners are difficult to draft based on where they currently are. Like I said, accept CMC if you're early, and if you do have the opportunity to get them and you want to start off with a running back, by all means go for it. But like other players, like a Kittle, like a Ayuk, it may be a little bit more difficult to get based on who's around them, because there are potential better players.
Your coach is like one of the best, but pisses people off in fantasy because
Sounds right.
yeah, I mean he pisses fantasy owners off. I can only imagine what he does for real coaches, because the game plan could be going to Debo one game and then all Brandon Ayuk, or it could go even Elijah Mitchell one game when you're like, CMC, what the heck? And then a next game CMC. Like, he's good at rotating like who the game plan's around. You don't really get a good like
consistent. You don't have anyone consistent,
him, which is good as a real football coach.
as a real team. Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Like, it's terrible to, like I said, it's kind of terrible to pick 49er players in fantasy because of that. Like, didn't Belichick do the same thing for the Patriots for like years with their running backs? But it looks like he's a little bit more consistent now. But we're going to be talking about them next week, since we don't have any other divisions to talk about. But now we're just about at our end, and it's time to do the predictions. I would like to hear. What was that?
We're all going to be the same. I feel like this division's the easiest to pick.
Okay.
You know what? Let's go for it. Manny, go first. Who you got?
Cardinals, last place. Then I got the Rams. Then I got the Seahawks. And then I got the 49ers. I mean, I can't go against history. And this is kind of like what it's been the last couple of years, besides the Rams win the Super Bowl. But the Rams are, like you said, they got rid of like most of their vets and now are young. Besides Aaron Donald and Matt Stafford, which are the two like oldest people in the NFL. So it's kind of contradicting myself. And then the Cardinals are just, Kyler Murray's playing video games instead of getting in rehab. So I don't know when he's going to be back.
Shout out to him for playing video games. Mike, who do you got?
All right. Mine's actually different.
Really?
Sorry. It is.
Dang it.
I'm all in, man. So I'm going. Of course, Cardinals going to be last. The trash. Okay. After that, we have LA. LA is a team who has a great coach. I think they might have the best coach in the division, but he doesn't have the weapon. He doesn't have the weapon, so it's not happening for LA this year. After that, I think I'm going San Francisco. San Francisco, one game behind though. It's going to be close. Like, it could go either way, but I'm just feeling like Seattle. Seattle's time. I love their roster. I love what they did in the offseason. I got Seattle winning the NFC West, one game above the Niners. They'll probably split a game and something else will happen throughout the year. They'll push the Seattle a little bit above. But yeah, man, I'm just feeling like the Seahawks did a lot in the offseason. I like the players they picked up. I like that two-headed machine at running back. And I'm just going to be different. I'm going to go with Seattle winning the division. I'm sorry, Will. You're my boy. Niners will be right in the thick of things, but going Seattle, man.
I am gonna agree with only one of you two as far as who I'm picking. So fourth place.
I wonder who that is.
It looks like it's all the same, with fourth place being Arizona because you're Arizona. Third place is going to be the Rams. I do agree with Mike. McVay is probably one of the better minds in football right now, but like it will take heaven for it to actually go right with them. In the literal sense, it seems like. Second place. Now, mind you, both of the remainder of the two teams I feel are going to make the playoffs this year. That being said, second place, 49ers.
Boo, you're a fake fan. Boo. I would never say the Eagles would win.
Eagles. Anyway, second place 49ers. It's kind of in the similarity with Mike pretty much saying that this is a good team in real life, but I feel that this is going to be such a close call with these two. And I want to do something a little bit different this year. Hell, I did it last year. And I think Seattle can take it this year. Like the way that they redid their roster, not only offensively, but to add another solid wideout on that team, to have fresh legs on that wide receiver team and running back. Like they have new weapons. They have new fresh weapons on that team. And they even to the point where defensively they even brought back Bobby Wagner. So to bring back Bobby Wagner onto a defensive team that slowly got into their groove last year, like I just feel that the trajectory for everything that they did smells a division champ.
Even if I believe that, I'm still picking my team.
And that's okay.
I would never pick the Eagles over the Cowboys. Never in my life. Mike, I don't know if you would ever in your life.
Actually, would you, Mike?
Would I pick the Eagles over the Cowboys? No, not them. I might pick the Giants.
Giants, wow. Okay. Oh, that's because of your pops. Come on now.
Yeah. You already know. But no, I mean, for me, it just comes down. It just comes down to for this division. It just comes down to quarterback play, really. Just the quarter. I'm just not sold. Now, Brock Purdy could definitely make me a believer, but I'm not sold on that. And I don't think Stafford has enough weapons around him, and I don't really care what Kyler can do, because unless he's going to put the whole team on his back, they'll probably be lucky to win 4 games. Right. So for me, it just comes down to just Geno having all those weapons, and me believing that Geno might just be a smidge better than Brock Purdy. But yeah,
you don't think
that's it. They're right there.
You don't think Trey Lance, that's equivalent to Chubb, Hill, and Jalen Waddle's better than Geno Smith? Mr. Second overall pick?
Nah, I don't. I like I like Trey Lance. Trey Lance to me is like an enigma, man. I wish. No, I know you're playing, but I wish they would let him just play. Like I really do, because I think he could be better. He could be better than those other guys. But Brock came and he put on last year, so the fans want Brock, man. That's what they want. So unless Brock comes out here and plays horribly, Trey's not going to get a shot. Trey might be traded before.
I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
I like Trey Lance, though. I feel bad. He just hasn't been able to stay healthy. It sucks. But when you don't stay healthy, what's the best ability? Availability. The man hasn't been available, so it is what it is.
He's so mad at me.
What did you do?
Well, first of all, you were wrong. He was a 3rd overall pick, not a 2nd. You just said 2nd.
Even worse.
And like I said, there was a 6th degree to be able for the Dolphins to get all those picks. I'm not saying that I disagree or agree with you. It's just the fact.
I wouldn't wouldn't take North Dakota State or no, wherever, North Dakota State, right? Bisons. I wouldn't take them dudes in the first round. Carson Wentz, Trey Lance. Just stop. Second round, maybe third. Not first. They don't play anybody. The Bisons don't play anybody. They play Boise State and they get hyped. They're like, we beat Boise State. We could beat Alabama. Like, stop it. No, you can't. I'm sorry, Bison, but you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a D2 school, not hating on D2, but you're not on the same level. Are they D1 now? They might be. They schedule a couple D1 games a couple D1 games a year, but they've ran that division. They're almost like Appalachian State, but I think Appalachian State will probably beat them. I don't know. I'm giving a lot of North Dakota State hard. They go hard. You know, I respect those guys, but the Bison, I don't know. They talk a lot. I haven't seen it.
Right.
I haven't seen it.
I'm not mad. There's nothing to be mad about, Manny. Whatever happens, happens. It's whatever. So, that being said,
y'all still got some beef, man. What's going on? What's going on?
It all started with a podcast from a couple years ago. No.
Me in offline.
But no, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. Now we're just babbling on right now. That's the show for today. And there's no need for the wheel, because next week we got our last division that we're going to be going for with a special guest. That's going to be the AFC East. We're going to be talking about those same Dolphins. We're going to be talking about those New England Patriots.
Zeke.
Someone's ecstatic about.
I'm happy for Zeke, man. I'm happy for Zeke. Go do something. Just don't do anything against us.
Someone's good. I can't think right now. We're going to be talking about them Buffalo Bills, and we're going to be talking about them New York Jets. This is actually going to be a fun division.
It's probably the best division.
Maybe the best division. Maybe. I don't know. I'll double check, but it probably is. But anyway, so we're going to be talking about the AFC East. It's going to be the last division preview that we got, and then right afterwards, we have to do a regular show after that. We'll figure out how we're going to do that. But until then, for Manny B and Manny.
Thank you guys for listening. I'm sorry that a lot of people get mad when I talk about their team. But it is week 0 for college football. So I'm hyped for next weekend. So I might be in a good mood next weekend. Talking about I might make your friend upset. That's going to be my goal. Let's talk about the Bills.
Maybe. But I super appreciate the fact that you were willing to apologize for talking about other people's teams. You shouldn't be talking about Arizona that way. For Mike. What up?
Hey, man. I'm here. It was a ball, guys. Yeah, next week should be fun. My man Mike Lewis comes on. I haven't seen Mike in a while, so it'll be good to see him again and connect. I know he's going to go hard for the Bills. That's what he does. He's been a fan since like 95. He's an original Bills fan, so don't think he's somebody who just showed on the scene with Josh Allen. Like, this dude has watched every single Super Bowl loss. I remember being in middle school and talking about it. This dude showed up first day of middle school in a Jim Kelly joint jersey, fitted. It was nice. He had that Andre Reed too. He's old school with it. So we'll see him next week. Excited about that. And for my man Manny, my man Will, we good, man. I can't wait till next week. Should be fun.
So Mike Lewis likes to lose, is what you're telling me?
They like to lose the Super Bowl. They were winning. They were a beast. The Bills were a beast. What other team is ever going to 4 straight Super Bowls?
Nobody. Mike Lou, if you have a Thurman Thomas jersey, wear it. I need to see it. Thurman Thomas is that dude. But this is for the Next Up Fantasy Show. I'm Will. Have a good night. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Whenever you guys are watching this, whenever you guys are listening to this. Mike, what is that to your left?
Me?
Yeah.
What's there?
Okay, you guys have a good night. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.